They move it to Miller. JT Miller with a slap pass. Rebound off the outside and they score! It's Brock Besser.
DK Metcalf, he's got it. Touchdown! Seahawks!
Launches one. Deep left field and gone.
Curry slammed on the brakes. Oh my goodness! Curry!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Live for Sports. My name is Nathan, joined as always by Mr. Joseph Gusty. Joseph, how are we doing on this Tuesday afternoon, evening? What do you want to call this? Yeah.
It's 6:20 Pacific Standard Time. I would say it's the evening.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty well, Nathan. Hockey's back. I'm happy. October is the best sports month, as you know, and it's been very, very exciting. Couple of weeks, couple of days.
You're a believer that October is the best sports month and not April. Well, yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, I'll give that to you because I was thinking April, but there's no NFL on at that time, so
April, I guess playoffs, but
okay. Pretty brief episode we got to do. Joseph's got to run for the most part
Gotta
somewhere.
do some things.
Yeah, I got stuff to do tonight. So we're gonna try and keep it short on everything. I got stuff to talk about though, of course. We'll start off in the NFL because we got some trades to talk about as well as a brief Week 6 recap. Then we are going to talk about Week 1 of the NHL. Then we'll talk about the MLB playoffs because we are in the championship series at the moment. And then we will wrap it up with 15-9 in our Western Conference predictions. That should be pretty quick wrap through that one. So we'll start, Joseph, with the NFL. So 2 trades today. It started off this morning at, I don't even know what time. I want to say it was like 7 in the morning. I woke up to it. We had Davante Adams finally getting his wish of being traded. And of course, he gets traded to the New York Jets to be paired with Aaron Rodgers again. It is a conditional 3rd-round pick that becomes a second. I believe if he becomes an All-Pro with the Jets, or if they reach the AFC title game this year, or the Super Bowl, or like when he's on the roster, I think.
So it's a third, basically. Probably.
It's probably a third. And then they are taking on his entire contract. His contract is being reworked, I believe. So, thoughts?
So on Davante Adams, this is interesting because the Jets, they already have a couple good receivers. Like, how much is this going to move the needle? Like, Garrett Wilson's already really good. Allen Lazard is also quite good. Breece Hall might be, outside of Christian McCaffrey, the best receiving back in the NFL. And now Davante Adams is now on the team. That's another weapon for an aging, declining Aaron Rodgers. He probably makes that catch the other day that Mike Williams couldn't. So we'll see. I expected them to be better. They're still clearly behind Buffalo in that division. They're ahead of New England, and Miami without Tua, the number 2 spot in the division's up for grabs. I don't think they're going to come back and win the division, however. But some built-in chemistry with Rodgers. You keep him happy, which is important because he can get really moody and sulky if things don't go his way. So yeah, I expect on the field it'll be a net positive, but I don't know how much of a positive it's going to be considering that they already have good receivers and they have a good defense. Yeah, really, I think Rodgers has been a problem.
They just overturned the 4th Tampa goal, so it's still 3-1 in the game behind me. But yeah, I like the trade and I don't like the trade at the same time for the Jets. To me, yes, it was always going to be Davante Adams going to be a Jet, in my opinion. Like, were there any other realistic options? Probably not. He probably was like, trade me to the Jets. Rodgers probably after the game threw a fit, went into the organization being like, trade for him. And then he found out, he said he was on Pat McAfee today and he said he found out around like 12:45 last night. So that would have been like right after the game, basically, because he's probably talking 12:45 Eastern, I guess. In terms of what it does for the Jets offense, if anything, it's probably just gonna make Rodgers and Wilson's chemistry a little less, I think, but it also in turn should open up Wilson more because I feel like Wilson's the really only real receiving threat, not named Breece Hall. Breece Hall is a good receiving back, but there's a difference when it comes to that with like when you play stretching the ball downfield. Allen Lazard is all right. He's not a number 2 receiver. He's
He's a
number
3.
3. He's a 3.
Yeah.
And he's been good this year. But you kind of need somebody else. To me, I like it. I think it should open up Garrett Wilson more, and it should allow Reese to get better touches because they'll probably be covering Adams and Wilson and be wanting to. But this seems at the same time, this seems to me they are slapping a band-aid on like a leak, pretty much. There's other problems on this roster, and it's not the defense.
There's a lot of problems.
They're very poorly coached. I don't necessarily agree with the Sala firing, but
You could see it. You could see
Yeah.
why. It's not like egregious, but I wouldn't have done it. But it's not egregious.
and I don't know if you saw last night's game. Did you see how many penalties they took?
I didn't see the game, but I saw like on Twitter that there
They
was
had
a lot of
I think
penalties.
12 penalties each team or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, ridiculous. But at the end of the day, like it's the team goes is how Aaron Rodgers goes, and he's not 2015 Aaron Rodgers anymore. Can't expect him to be 2015 Aaron Rodgers. He's just not that guy anymore. And seeing him on McAfee grinning like a fool when they brought up Davante Adams, like dude, you're 2-4. You got no reason to be grinning.
Well, I also think too, if you're the Jets front office, especially their GM, they've invested so much capital and money into Rodgers in making this thing be successful that yeah, you kind of got to go make a win now move. I think there's others to be made. Their O-line has been actually all right in my opinion. But the coaching has been sketchy. Their leadership, slash culture there, it's a little sketchy. So yeah, we'll see how it works. I'm sure it'll be fine. Rodgers is happy now. Hopefully we'll stop bitching and whining, but we'll see.
He won't. So it'll be something. It'll be the offensive line next.
And then a
But-
couple hours later, we had Amari Cooper getting traded to the Buffalo Bills. In exchange, Buffalo sends a 3rd and a 7th round pick to Cleveland, and Cleveland also and Cleveland gets a 6th round pick, or Buffalo also gets a 6th round pick as well.
Yeah. So
and
basically, the 6th and the 7th cancel each other out essentially in my book. So it's basically a 3rd.
yeah, it's a
So-
classic NFL trade. Cooper was paid. I believe his contract was converted to a signing bonus in March, and now his contract is only like 800,000. So Buffalo's only on the hook for that. I'll let you go ahead with your thoughts first.
Yeah, it's a really good trade. The Adams trade on the field is very good. This is a 450-foot home run for Sean McDermott and Billy Bean, or Billy something or other, Brandon Bean, for the Buffalo Bills. This is the perfect move. This was kind of their last piece. Stephon Diggs is gone. They didn't have a number 1 receiver. They've been making it work with their patchwork group of guys and their really good tight ends and Josh Allen's pure unadulterated talent. But now they finally have an alpha dog receiver, one with a proven track record. He's not incredibly old. There's not much of a financial burden, and they didn't give up very much for him. Josh Allen has looked excellent with really a ragtag group of receivers around him. And now he's got Amari Cooper, who, even though Deshaun Watson in Cleveland has been horrible, he still put up good numbers. He can put up numbers with anybody, Amari Cooper. He did it in Cleveland. He did it in Dallas when Dak was up and down. He did it in Oakland back in the day, because I don't think he ever played for the Las Vegas itineration of the team. And that was like Derek Carr. So this is a really, really good receiver. And there's no real threats in that division. Like, I don't believe in the Jets. Without Tua, the Dolphins are toothless. And we all know how shitty the Patriots are. So
they're toothless.
Yeah, I know.
That was a weird reference, but yeah.
Well, they are. They have no teeth.
Oh,
What do you mean? You've never heard that phrase?
no, I don't think so.
Guess hasn't made it to the island yet.
Am I too young for this or something?
No, toothless. Toothless is like they got no teeth, no fangs.
Okay.
If you're out in the wild and you're like getting mauled by a bear, if it's got no claws and no teeth, you'll probably live. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Um.
Hold on, let me finish. This now it sets them up to run away with the division. They now have no excuses, because before you say, they don't have any good receivers. Now they do. So Josh Allen, this is your time, pal. The AFC is wide open outside of Kansas City.
Yeah, I really love this deal for the Bills, to be honest. I don't even think Josh Allen needs like an alpha number one receiver. It clearly he had one with Diggs and it just didn't work. Cooper, I think, is a number one receiver. I don't think he's like that alpha kind of type. He's more the like sneaky, underrated kind of thing. And he's still very good. He just had, I think he has the most drops in the NFL this year, I was reading, and he's one of the lowest graded receivers so far. I don't think that's all his fault. I think that's a lot of it is probably on Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson really sucks. That will be another conversation. feel like we've had this a bunch, but God, he deserves to be benched. Um, and yeah, I saw a couple people saying like, "Oh, this is the Bills' backup. They were going after Davante Adams." No, it's not. They did not have money for Davante Adams. He was too expensive. Cooper is on a really cheap contract. It makes sense, and probably could get an extension from him in the offseason because I believe he's a free agent after the year. I think maybe. Um, but yes, I really like this for the Bills. Now I would say come deadline, maybe they're looking for a couple defensive pieces like replacements. I think their offense is fine as it is. Um, but the path for the Bills to get to the Super Bowl was there this year, I think. So, because yeah, the Chiefs are undefeated. They don't
But
look
they're kind of
invincible
frauds.
this year. So
They've got lucky. They're not saying they're not good. They're very good, but they've
they
been
they
lucky.
they look beatable, is what I'll
Yeah,
say. Yeah.
yeah.
Um. I in terms of Week 6 recap, I'm worried about the Seahawks. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get worried. Um, we'll see how they do against Atlanta this week. I do think the scheduling was a little tough. They played 3 games in I think 10 nights. Monday night, Sunday, Thursday night, all back to back. Crazy scheduling. And 2 against like the premier teams of the NFC. So, but their defense hasn't looked that good recently, and I'm starting to get worried. And the Dallas Cowboys, I'll say, are the biggest frauds. They suck. They're terrible.
That was funny.
Jerry, yeah,
Jerry Jones is such a bitch.
I don't really think I need to
Yeah,
say
we
anything
don't.
else.
We don't. We what's been said about Jerry Jones has already been said everywhere. He's a douchebag.
Let's go to the week 1 recap of the NHL now. We'll move quickly.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if you got any big takeaways from this week. I'm sure your Oilers are going to get brought up, but I'll say I'm not worried about them. Trust this
Neither am
time.
I.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true. I am a little bit. They need to score more.
Okay.
Like
Sure.
like they need to score more. They need to defend better. Emberson hasn't looked good, sadly. I was hyping him up a little bit. He's looked pretty crap.
Oh, sure.
And their goaltending has looked mediocre. But 3 games in, we all know how they started last year. Let's take a deep breath and relax. It's the first month. Nobody went. There's no cups won in October, so relax.
I'm a little worried Canucks wise more if they lose tonight too. They'll be 0-3 if they
Well,
they've had 2 overtime losses, but
well, I'm less. No, well, I expected some regression this year.
yeah,
I
I
know
think
a
everybody.
lot of people. I know a lot of people still project them to be good, and so do I. But their PDO was off the charts, and they were succeeding last year despite Pedersen being kind of mediocre the second half. He's looked horrible.
The second half they weren't even that good. The team,
No,
for the most
no.
part. They were a first half team last year,
But Patterson needs to get going. He has zero excuses. He's not injured as far as I can tell. He's got no contracts laying over his head. He's got proper wingers. He needs to get it together. But also, there's no Demko, right?
yeah.
This was all about surviving and staying at 500 while Demko was gone. So,
Um,
also today, Columbus did something really nice. I don't know if you saw this,
yeah. So yeah.
but they started the game with an empty spot at left wing, which is where Johnny Gaudreau skated, and they ran the first 13 seconds off the clock, which is jersey number. I thought that was a real cool gesture. Nice of the Panthers to play along with that, and also cool in this game, Sean Monahan scored, which was really sick, and he pointed to the banner, which was
the
really cool.
most free bet I think ever. Sean Monahan like scoring in this game.
Yeah,
I like yeah. I texted my buddies after this. I'm like, Sean Monahan scoring in this game was just like so free. It was gonna happen.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of when Jose Fernandez died and D Gordon hit a home run.
Yeah.
Um,
The point to the banner that they raised was sick. So
really, so is that a retirement? Is that a jersey retirement?
I was
Or is
thinking
that-
the same thing. I don't think it's an official jersey retirement, but it is in this.
It's an out of circulation,
Yeah.
at least. But yeah, that was cool. I thought that was really nice that he had that moment. So good for him.
It's
I'm cheering for Columbus this year. I want them to do well.
I don't think you can not be cheering for Columbus this year.
Yeah.
It
What
was
an
sad.
underrated fan base.
The one thing I will say that was a little sad to me was Kachuk was not able to attend the game. He's got an illness right now
Yeah,
and he's out
I
like
saw
for the week.
that.
I don't know what the illness necessarily is,
Yeah.
but
They'll play each other again.
yeah,
And
it's just the home.
Sam Bennett was there.
It's
So
just yeah, he even put like a message out though, like he wanted to be there and he just
yeah.
couldn't. Kind of sucked. In terms of other takeaways I got, the Devils are so legit. I hate now. I might be regretting not
Aren't they
putting them.
losing today? I'm pretty sure they're losing to
Are they
Carolina.
losing right now? They're down
They were
4-2
down
to
3.
Oh, they lost 4-2 to Vegas. It's over. Or Carolina, sorry.
Yeah, no, they look good. Like we mentioned with them in our season preview, I was expecting them, now they have a proper goaltender to make strides, and Sheldon Keefe is a good coach. It's not entirely his fault that the Leafs were so shit in the playoffs for years. He's a good coach. So they fixed some stuff, and I'm happy for them because the league is healthier when the New York teams are good.
I agree.
New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, they're prior to tonight's game, they're 4-1, and I think they'd give up 9 goals in the 5 games. Like that's was their issue. They couldn't keep the puck out of their net last year because their goaltending was so shit. And yeah, and they have maybe the best defensive group in the league. Nah, maybe it's too early, but the best future because Luke Hughes, Simone Nemec, and Seamus Casey, who probably Seamus Casey was a little more underrated just because everyone talked about Nemec and Hughes for the future. They have like 8 NHL defensemen on their roster. It's crazy. Like I don't know what they do when they're all healthy.
They've looked really good.
You got any big
Rapid fires?
Okay, like any big overreactions I was gonna ask.
Not particularly. I think Montreal Canadiens fans need to chill with Lane Hudson a little bit. The head fakes and the cool dangles are cool, but he's getting exposed a bit defensively, which isn't out of
-4 last night.
Yeah, like it's not a big deal. He's young. The team isn't very good. But let's calm down a little bit. He's not Erik Karlsson just yet. I think Leaf fans need to calm down a bit too. This is par for the course. Anthony Stolarz, congrats. He had a good couple of games against some pretty mediocre teams. Calm down, like chill out a little bit. What else? Calgary started well, but we all know they're going to be cellar dwellers as the season goes along. Yeah, other than that, it's the first month of the year. It's not a big sample size. People got to relax a little bit. So
I'll ask you about Utah's start too, because that's been a very hot topic recently.
Well, Nathan Maley, as you know, I was high on Utah going into this year. Very. So I'm not surprised. They got a really good young core. Dylan Guenther. Oh, Jim Benning. Maybe you shouldn't have traded that 9th pick.
Hey, no. I don't even think I saved this. I wanted to read. I don't think it's saved. Me and my buddy were talking about this. It was a tweet. I forget who said it. One of the Canucks like writers, or not main writers, but like kind of the sub ones, I believe, was basically like the fact that Canucks fans like, yeah, you traded the 9th pick, which turned out to be Guenther, but the fact that you guys actually had faith that Jim Benning was gonna take him is funny. Like,
well, remember at this time in 2021,
empty netter,
everyone knew
Canucks gonna lose.
Yeah, whatever. It's early. They need to wake up a little bit. The thing was, in 2021, Benning still had his reputation as a good drafter. But like honestly, like what was that? That was 2021. He would have taken Sillinger or somebody. Like he wasn't gonna.
Who was in that draft? I'm trying to.
Like the next pick was Tyler Boucher, so it could be worse. At least Garland is productive.
Oh, like the trade.
Saying,
the trade is basically Garland for Guenther, which is
bad, of course.
Yeah,
I remember. I think it was Dan Riccio. He was saying like worst trade in history, like quote tweeting a Guenther goal, and I was like, no. Like Gunther's great, and he's gonna be great for a long time. But Ekman Larson wasn't Jared Cowan. Like he wasn't a complete and utter liability. He was mildly decent. I mean, not good, obviously, and the buyout's gonna hurt. But Garland's a legitimately good second liner. Like people need to chill out a little bit. Like
I think worst trade in history.
Well, there's
probably
Jason. Well, I don't even know about that because he's had a good start to the year and he's not horrible. Like the Spezza, the original Spezza trade, from the Islanders to the Sens because they got Chara in that trade to Ottawa, and they sent fuck all to New York.
This
Islanders.
Was who's the GM? Wasn't this his masterclass? The Islanders.
I just thought of one. It is the Islanders. It's Peter Chiarelli, 16th overall pick to the Oilers, or no, from the Oilers to the Islanders for Griffin Reinhart for Matt
Oh.
Barzal. In terms of draft day trades, so bad.
Yeah, that was bad. I'm trying to who's the Islanders like GM that's widely regarded as like the worst
Garth
of all.
Snow.
That was he the one who made that trade?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that
Well,
makes sense. then.
okay. Well, the thing was though, as bad as Garth Snow was, there's like no comparison to Oilers Chiarelli. Like there's no comparison. Like I need Chiarelli. Chiarelli needs to go to The Hague and be tried. Like he for his work on the Oilers, like single-handedly cost the McDavid era 3 years. Single-handedly. But alas.
Yeah, that's fair. Um in terms of Utah, I think everyone does need to chill out a little bit, I'll say too. Yes, yeah, like it's good start and it looks cool and stuff. Keep in mind though, this happened exactly with Buffalo like 4 years ago. 2020 was it? 2019, 2020. Got off to a really hot start, and then the second half they just fell off, and then it all led to it like an Eichel request out trade kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
I can see the parallels.
pump the brakes a little bit. Teams get off the hot starts. Like the Flames are 3-0.
Yeah.
They beat the Canucks, they beat the Oilers and the Flyers, who I don't know how we feel. Well, I wasn't that high in the Flyers this year, but
No, me
Twitter.
neither.
But MLB Division Series, you want to move on? Does that
Yeah, we'll go quick. I'm disappointed in the Phillies offense. This is the second straight year they fizzled when it matters. I saw they extended Canadian Rob Thompson as their manager. Clock sticking on their core. They're getting old. Harper is still great, but he's a 0 on defense now and base running, and he's getting older. Castellanos is not even a 0 defensively. He's a negative. So is Schwarber. They're getting old. The only young member of their core is like Trey Turner, and he's like 29. So
Yeah.
time to pick it up a little bit. Important season. I'm hoping like they're not afraid to spend money. So we'll see if they make a run at Soto or anybody. That'll be pretty insane. But that would be so cool. But he's done. I think Mark Trout. He's broken. He's physically broken. He can't do it anymore. So yeah, that sucks. I'm happy for the Mets. They moved on. Their fan base deserves it. I'm happy for Steve Cohen, the owner who spends gobs and gobs of money. I like it when rich owners don't cry poor, which is a big problem in MLB and other sports. I like when people are like, "Yep, I'm rich. I make a shit ton of money and I'm gonna spend it on my baseball team." That's very cool. I'm happy he does that. So good for them. I'm cheering for them against the Dodgers. That series 1-1. On the other bracket, the Gritty Tigers, good for you. Nice little run. Time to augment your young core in free agency because it was kind of fluky the way you got there. Time to get a couple pitchers and a bat or two. And Cleveland, good for you for winning, doing your pitching and defense, but I have no faith that you can beat the Yankees. None whatsoever. I'm pretty sure they're losing 3.
They have lost 5-2 tonight.
Oh, it's already over? Shit.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like easiest path to a World Series ever for any team.
Wait. Sorry, this was yesterday. What am I looking at? 3-2 right now.
Oh. What inning?
Top of or mid-6.
Oh, lots of time.
They
Okay.
had a Naylor sac fly and a Will Brennan hits a force out to first base.
Yeah, like see, like that's not even like offense. That's small ball. Like they can't score. So I don't know. Sadly, I think the Yankees are gonna win. And then fuck you, MLB, for making me cheer for the Dodgers if it's a Yankees-Dodgers World Series.
Yeah, the MLB's got to be salivating right now.
Oh, can you imagine if it's Cleveland? I mean, Mets would still make a lot of money, but Cleveland, they'd kill themselves.
Yes, yeah, 100%. Because what was? I guess it was Cleveland versus what would have been? What do you think they liked better in 2016? Would they have liked Cubs Jays better, or Cubs Cleveland better, which ended up happening?
Hold on, wasn't it? I'm just thinking of the NL. Yeah, because it was Cubs Mets in the Central.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
in the NL.
Yeah, I believe so.
So you're
or
thinking
it was Cubs Dodgers.
Are you thinking
or,
15 or 16? Sorry.
I'm thinking 16.
Okay. It would have been. Damn, that's a hard one because it's kind of a wash because, MLB their ratings would die in in America if it was the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
But just a pure surge of the 36 million people in Canada that would have watched.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they would have preferred Cleveland. Because I remember that I was looking at a statistic. That's one of the most watched World Series ever.
That turned into like one of the best World Series ever, you
Yeah,
could say.
like and a ton of people watched it because there was intrigue. 100 years, 108 years, and they
Versus
broke it.
what was Cleveland's at the time too.
Like 57, I want to say.
It's still that high or some shit. No,
Yeah, but
they lost one in like the 40s, I think. So it's
yeah, at
longer
the
than that.
time,
I think it was
I
like
think it
70.
was the 60s. I think it was like 65, because I keep recalling like LeBron ending a 50-year drought in 2016. I'm sure it was somewhere in the 60s, but oh well. But yeah, kind of a fun postseason. But I'm praying to the Lord, um,
They have not
above.
won one since 1948.
Okay, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
So that is 70 something years. I'm not doing the math. But yeah. So I'm praying I would like a Guardians Mets World Series. I don't think that's going to happen. My cheering for power rankings are Mets number 1, huge golf, Cleveland, ginormous golf, Los Angeles, and then go down to the Marianas Trench, and then you have New York, Yankees.
Yeah, I don't like any of these teams left. It's
I like
actually
the
funny.
Mets.
I'm not really a Mets guy. I don't like how every year, like I think I said this a couple episodes ago or whatever. I don't like how it's, oh, Mets, this is our year, blah blah blah. We're gonna be so good, and then they just start out shit, and then they miss the playoffs. It's just funny to me at that point. Um, I'm not really a Guardians fan because of 2016, even though they're just kind of like all right. Like then there's there. It's more than 2016 bitterness. Yankees, I hate. Dodgers, I don't like. This is the weird thing about the Dodgers. I don't like the Dodgers as a team, but like, I love Betts. I love Freeman. I love Otani.
Yeah, and there's also like the Jackie Robinson factor with me, that they have that prestige.
Hmm. I really want like Otani to me is like what McDavid is to you. I want
Yeah,
Otani to win for his legacy.
I can accept that. I
Um,
can understand. I can very much understand it.
I'm not no,
I'm kind of like that with
but
Harper.
on that hand, I'm not jumping on a Dodgers bandwagon. I'm like you jumping on the Oilers bandwagon.
Okay, I told you, Nathan, last year if it was conference finals, I would have cheered for the Canucks. I told you that. It was only the second round.
Hmm. So
And
wait, if it was Canucks Oilers conference final, you're saying like if that I know it wasn't possible.
last year I would have said that. This year I'm not. I would not say that.
So
I'm
but
full.
but
I'm
but you're
full Oiler.
you're saying if it was Canucks Oilers Western Conference final.
Yes, in the year 2024 playoffs, I would have cheered for Vancouver.
Gotcha. Okay.
But that is no longer the case because I just want Edmonton to win it because they got so close.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
If I had to power rank the teams I'm cheering for, God, Guardians won, I guess, even though I don't like it.
If Trevor Bauer was still a Guardian,
I'll,
they would be last.
I'll say Dodgers too, just because of Otani's legacy. I think it'd be really cool to see him win. And although everyone hates how much Otani gets posted on MLB accounts, but you have to market
Yeah,
your best
it's a
players.
little much. It's a little much, but he deserves it. Like you got to get the word out.
3 Mets and 4 Yankees. Definitely don't want to see the Yankees win, but the MLB is salivating right now because they, no matter what, get a big market team in the Dodgers or the Mets in. And then you look like you might have the Yankees in based off 1-0 up in game 2 right now. So either way, you're getting Yankees Dodgers, the 2 biggest teams in baseball,
Yeah,
or you're getting Yankees Mets, the Battle of New York, which would do
that would be
insane
so cool
for ratings.
Like, thank God the World Trade Centers are gone because they might have been burnt down.
There
If
might be
had that been the thing.
there might be a New York Civil War.
Good Lord, can you imagine Long Island versus the Bronx? But this is like, if it's Dodgers Yankees, that's equivalent to the NBA's Lakers Celtics, because you can't have Yankees Red Sox in the World Series, which would be just insane. But we all know what they want, and I'm hoping Manfred fails because he's such a snivelly little schmuck that I like seeing him sad.
Isn't he almost done as commissioner? Like, isn't
I
he?
think he's got a couple more years.
He's retiring after when his contract's up or whatever. I think
Yeah,
that got
good.
announced. Yeah.
Good. How
Um,
crazy how good he makes Bettman look.
Yeah, it's
Isn't it crazy that Bettman is so hated and he's objectively the second best commissioner in the Big Four, and it's like not close.
yeah. You could debate Goodell.
Goodell won't. Goodell is
I
trying
feel
to
like
kill
we've
the
had
players.
this conversation recently.
He's trying to kill him. Yeah. Anyway, another time.
Yeah, we got to move on. So we'll go. You want to go to NBA right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 15-9 of our Western Conference. Actually, first off, before we get into this, how are we feeling about your fantasy team?
My basketball one.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
feel all right.
For context, we had our draft on Sunday night. Yeah, but yeah.
It's God, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not very good at this. I'm not very good at fantasy basketball. I'm good at fantasy hockey and fantasy football. Basketball, for some reason, I'm just not very good at. Like I had the fifth overall pick and I took Giannis. I don't know how good of a pick that was, but
I
the
think
the
that's
the,
fine where it
the
was.
board wasn't even like open for me. So I'll just
I
read my team now real quick. See, I got Cam Thomas pretty. I like the fifth round. I was pretty happy with that.
That's a good pick. He'll score you a lot of points this year.
Yeah, and I got a whole bunch of cool people. But do you see that trade that guy tried to scam me on? God, that literally I was offended. Yeah,
He
I got Booker, Jalen Williams, Cam Thomas, Siakam, got a Kumpo, DeRozan, Nurkic, Kessler, Kuminga, Nemhard, Jeremy Grant, Rui Hashimura, and Al Horford.
Yeah.
So
My draft went, I'd picked 10. I went Trey, then Chet, Laurie Markkinen, Jared Jackson Jr., Mikal Bridges, Josh Giddey, Jonas
good.
Valanciunas, Jalen Green, Derek Lively, Tyus Jones, Naz Reid, because he fell so far past his ADP that I already was loaded on centers. I'm like, okay, I just have to take him. His ADP is way too good. Norm Powell late, who's going to be good because Kawhi's out for probably a little bit. So I'm banking on him to be good at the start. And Stephon Castle just kind of took a flyer in the last round. See what happens. Um, I will trade for Victor Wembanyama at some point. Mark my words. It will
That's pretty
happen.
funny.
I'm already working on it. We'll see if I can get anything done. But uh, yeah. Part of the reason I took Chet was kind of to like flip him for Wemby because he's kind of like the closest in terms of fantasy production to him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, 15 through 9 Western Conference. Very loaded conference. I'm curious to see the teams you have missing the play-in because there's about 12, you could say 13 teams, I think, that have a case of being play-in teams this year. So,
Okay, I'll go first.
yep.
Okay, 15. I got Portland. They're not very good. Scoot Henderson was pretty bad last year. Shaden Sharp is unproven. Um, and I don't believe in DeAndre Ayton. Case closed. Cooper Flag season.
Yep, I'm in agreement there. Too young, conference too good. Anthony Simons trade at some point, maybe, so they can get Scoot and Shaden Sharp those starting minutes and stuff like that. Um, I believe they drafted Donovan Clingan. He's good. I like him, but it'll be tough for him to play with Ayton around, and we'll see what happens there. But 15.
Nice. Hold on. Let me just get my thingamajigger going here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have Utah in 14th. Even though I like Lowry Markkinen. Utah is a hard place to play because they're not a free agent destination in the NBA. Colin Sexton is good, but he's not like a franchise player. Walker Kessler he regressed a bit last year, but I'm expecting a bounce back. They're kind of a tweener team. They could be really good, they could be really bad, but I have them in 14th.
Yeah, I'm also in agreement there. They tend to like start out hot as the season starts, and then they fall off the second half. And like they get like Markkinen has been like the past 2 years have been injured in like March and April, and they've kind of fallen off when he goes down. But conference too good. I'm expecting them to be worse to start this year. 14th place for me.
Okay, 13th, I got your boy Wemby and his Spurs. I'm not there yet with the Spurs. I don't like Sohan. I mean, Chris Paul, I'm sad that he's going to retire ringless, it looks like, unless he gets traded, which he might. But Wembanyama, he'll take another step, but I think he's 1 year away from superstardom still. But I still expect them to be, competitive. Like they'll be playing meaningful games late in the year, but they're gonna tail off a bit because I just don't know how Wemby's frame is gonna last in a full season without load management. So 13th.
He doesn't really get load managed last year though. Well, he
Yet.
kind of did. He was sitting back to backs because they had a quote unquote ankle injury. I think it was more just them kind of load managing. I do have them 13th as well. As much as I want to put them in the play in, sorry. the conference too good. And I do think it's totally possible that Wembanyama is that good this year, takes that step and like puts them on his back and puts them in the play in, sorry. But to me, the conference is pretty damn loaded.
Yeah.
So they're still probably a year away. I do like the Chris Paul edition though. I think he's gonna go in there, teach like the kids how to win a little bit. Him and Pop. He'll basically be a player coach next to Pop, like a
Yep.
player assistant coach kind of thing. So they'll be
I could
13 for me.
I could see a coaching future for him.
Mhm.
Speaking of load management, I have the Los Angeles Clippers as I think this would be what, 12th?
Well,
Yeah. So I have them in 12th. Kawhi's hurt again. I'm closing the book on Kawhi in his competitive window for him to be a number one on a championship team. He just can't stay healthy. He just can't do it. He's got chronic knee problems. It's not his fault. He just can't do it. And Paul George is gone. James Harden is no longer at a point where he can carry a team to the promised land. He's not a Rocket anymore. I could see Tyronn Lue being fired early to mid-season because I just don't think this team's going to be very good. And sorry, Norman Powell, you're my guy, but you're not going to win another ring, at least with the Clippers. So 12th place for the Clippers, and the battle of LA continues to swing in the Lakers' pendulum.
we'll see how they do. It'll be interesting to see new arena kind of thing. That should be fun for them. They don't have to live in the Lakers' shadow necessarily, but my 12th seed is the Golden State Warriors. Sorry, Steph Curry, you don't have much help around there. Podziemski, I like him. We'll see if he can take that next step. They lost Klay Thompson, obviously. That's a big story. They brought in Buddy Hield, who is nowhere near the defensive player that Klay was, even though Klay's not really that good defensively anymore, coming off the Achilles and the knee injury. He's lost a step. But I think he could be. Klay wasn't even shooting the ball necessarily that well last year, so I think Hield could come in and like almost shoot better than what Klay was last year. We'll see what Kuminga does in a more expanded role because he's probably the number two on that team now. Wiggins, I believe, is still around, correct? Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
they've
but
moved him
he's
up.
in like a weird spot because he's
Yeah,
injured, and I don't think he gets along with Kerr. So
and then of course you got Mr. Triple Single, Draymond kicking around still. Good veteran presence, I guess, but
is he? Is he? I think Jordan Poole disagrees.
Okay, he might be the only one who disagrees, but I'm sure people
I don't know. Steve Kerr openly said that fucked their chemistry that year because that was their title defense year.
Yeah, it did.
Anyway, so
they're my 12 seed.
okay, so that means I am on numero 11,
Mhm.
which means it's kind of tough. I'm gonna say Golden State here. Basically for the reasons above. Steph, you're great, but the window's shut. I'm wondering to see if he finishes his career in Golden State because Steph is the type of player, he doesn't play like a physical game. And he doesn't need to have high assist numbers to be productive. I wonder how long he plays and if he finishes his career in Golden State. Because he's what, like 36, 37? He could easily play another 5, 6 years and just be like a corner three guy at the end. So we'll see.
He, I believe, was signed for 2 more years, and then he signed a 1-year extension.
Okay.
So I believe he's probably just going to play the end of that. So we'll take him to 40.
Maybe he teams up with LeBron eventually. They've been flirting with that for a while.
I don't think he wants to. I think it's more LeBron kind of wanting to, and Curry being like, for our legacy's sake, let's not. Doesn't seem like it would go over. Like,
yeah, because there's like a chance it's like Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce.
I actually disagree. I think it's fine for their legacies because they're both out of their prime, even though they're still very good players. They're not. They're at the tail ends of their prime. Let's say.
Yeah.
The dwindling of their prime. So it wouldn't be that bad because I think even them teaming up doesn't make them a championship contender. If it was 6 years ago, them teaming up, then yes,
Bro,
100%.
They'd go 79-3. But yes, I agree.
My number 11 seed is the Los Angeles Clippers. Pretty much as well, same reasons as you stated above. Kawhi can't stay healthy as much as I hate to say it. Harden is not the same scorer he was from years ago. He's a very good playmaker now. But they don't really have much help. Zubac is still around. Terrence Mann, Norm Powell, but I believe they brought in Derrick Jones Jr. for defensive purposes this year.
Okay.
Could be a nice like lob threat for Harden because he can dunk. I'm not sold on them. Them losing PG kind of hurt. But I don't blame them not wanting to pay him.
Yeah, I agree. The Kawhi PG just didn't work. Neither of them were healthy enough. Paul George was kind of a prima donna while he was there, so
Yep.
failed experiment.
Into the play-in we go. You're number 10.
The Houston Rockets.
You're lower on them.
Yeah. I just don't think they're there yet. I don't really have much analysis for them, but this core of the team hasn't really achieved anything. They don't know how to win just yet. But they have two of my favorite players in Van Vliet and Dylan Brooks. And they got a good head coach in Ime Udoka. Alperen Şengün is one of my favorite players to watch in the league. He's really fun. So we'll see. Maybe they can speed up their kind of rebuild a little bit here and go further than the 10th seed. But I just have them 10 because I don't think, and as much as I like Fred, he's not a championship point guard. So
yeah, I'm a little higher on them. They're in my next episode. I'll say that.
okay.
I got the Lakers at 10. I'm not high on them. Sorry. It's kind of just same old Lakers. They didn't really do much to improve their team this year. Like, you still got LeBron, you got AD. How much LeBron can keep going and not get load managed, blah, blah, blah. I know, I don't know if you saw the starting five doc, but he was getting apparently mad that he was getting load managed last year in it.
Okay, Le GM, like you could stop that in one sentence.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Anthony Davis was very healthy last year. I'll give him credit for that. Can he do it for another year? We'll see. I know Lakers fans hate D'Lo, and they're all hype about, Darvin Ham being gone because his rotations suck and stuff like that. But keep in mind, this is a rookie head coach. This is a guy with zero coaching experience. As much as JJ Redick is a good basketball mind, and I love listening to his podcast and like him breaking down stuff, he's never been a head coach. It's a little different.
This reeks of Steve Nash, Brooklyn Nets.
I think it's going to be a little better. Well, yeah, no, Steve Nash was.
I don't know. But the thing is, when you're on a LeBron coach team, LeBron is going to get his way, which is fine. He deserves it. But like, how much is JJ Redick going to be able to influence? I don't know. We'll see.
And how long will Bronny James stay in the NBA?
About a month. He'll get a couple games. He's just not ready.
Do you think he starts opening night?
Like starting lineup?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's a sham, if that happens. I mean,
they do it just for the
like there are probably at least 100 college basketball players that are better than him.
Oh, he's going to go to the G League and he's going to be getting cooked down there.
He's not even like big. He doesn't really do anything well. He's like above average defensively, and that's it. Anyway, let's move on here. I'm on number 9. I got the Grizzlies. I like John Morant a lot. We're all past the point of people thinking Zion's better than him. Hopefully he's put his shit behind him, that he can now be a adult and not be stupid. I like Desmond Bane. I like their coaching staff. They're very well coached, typically, Taylor Jenkins. So yeah, 9 seed. Let's see if they can get back to where they were a few years ago before Morant had his shit, which derailed him.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back Vancouver.
You're much lower on them than I am. I'll say that. In my 9 seed, I have the Sacramento Kings. Not moved by the DeMar pickup.
No, I don't think anyone is.
I don't mind them getting another scorer, but I just would have appreciated like a shooter more. If anything, like I know DeMar came from Chicago. I would have liked them getting Levine instead of him.
Yeah. Did they keep Malik Monk?
He's still around, yes.
Okay, so he can shoot. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like this is not DeMar of old. He doesn't contribute to winning. Sorry.
Sabonis is a non-shooter. De'Aaron Fox, I wouldn't call him a non-shooter, but it's not his specialty. And then DeMar is non-shooter. Yes, you got like Malik Monk and you have Keegan Murray, who's still an excellent 3-point shooter. But outside of that, I'm not that moved. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Sabonis fan, to be honest. I like him for when it comes to regular season, but when it comes to playoffs, if you can't stretch the floor, you're kind of not going to win championships. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I've actually making an audible here. You've kind of swayed me a little bit, Nathan. And I'm going to switch things up a bit, and I'm going to put Sacramento as my 8 seed.
Oh, we're doing 8 seeds?
Oh,
I thought
hold
we
on,
were,
hold on. I thought we were doing. Okay,
we're on
what's
9.
playing again?
We were doing
I keep thinking playing's 8 to 10.
no
I've lost my
playing
mind. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
yeah, we're leaving that for next episode.
Strike that from the record. Never
Uh,
happened.
um,
Men in Black. Zip.
yeah, that we were just doing 15 to 9 tonight, and then we'll do 9 or 8 to 1 next week, and the NBA will be back next week by the time we record because opening night will be then. I forget who's even playing opening night. I guarantee you it's it's Lakers Warriors. I can guarantee that. Fair enough.
Celtics will probably play too.
Celtics will definitely be playing. It's never mind. It's Celtics Knicks and Lakers hosting Timberwolves.
Okay. Gosh, remember after the Raptors one, it was Raptors, Pelicans, and Zion didn't even play. And,
Yeah,
like,
it was supposed
nobody
to be
watched.
the first overall pick versus the defending champs. And Zion didn't even play, and Kawhi was gone from the team. So yeah,
And,
it was
like
it was a
Lonzo Ball was like their best player. It's kind of funny.
it had to have been a really shit rating
Oh,
wise.
horrible.
I don't know.
But anyways,
And then I'm trying to think who else played the. Oh wait, so that was 20. Lakers definitely played.
I think it was Lakers Clippers.
You're right. It was 100%. 100% it was because yeah, that was Kawhi first game as Clipper, and it was LeBron with AD, and yeah, 100% it was.
That's right. Well, I think that's covers all our bases for this protracted episode today.
Because
I like this rapid fire style. I like it.
wouldn't mind it being stretched out a little bit.
Oh yeah, totally. But
more, but I didn't hate running through it. I feel like I got more to say on each thing. I just couldn't really say it when I knew we were on the clock. So
yeah, weird week for me. So next week will be a regular schedule.
Next week, we'll go over some more NHL talk probably. We'll be in the World Series by then probably, right? Or wrapping up the championship series. I don't know when the World Series is supposed to start, but
shortly, not too long,
game
week or two.
Okay, game 7, if necessary, of Guardians Yankees is that night. So, and then game 7 of Mets Dodgers will be the previous night. So we won't be in the World Series yet, probably, because World Series we might. I guess if the series end early, they're not like the NBA, are they? Because the NBA always announces like when their finals will start.
Yeah, I don't think they're not like that.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll do break those matchups down. NBA 8 to 1 in the West, like we say, and we'll probably do awards picks, I guess, by then too. Final pick because we'll need to, and then NFL more week 7 breakdown, and trade deadline should be soonish in the NFL. I believe the week after, maybe a week and a half after. So we'll get into that. Got this far. Thanks for listening. Sorry for the short episode, but we will catch you in the next one. Peace out.
See ya.